Good afternoon. It's Wednesday, and this is not the class that I just finished teaching. This is another one because I had all kinds of technical difficulties, which kind of leads me into the theme of the practice today. So what I'd like you to contemplate is the difference between something that is easy and something that you do with ease. So while you're contemplating it, please get a chair and sit. You can sit on the floor too. I want you to find a pose where you can sit with ease of the spine. So what does that mean? An easy, comfortable pose might be like this, just leading the witness a little bit. But a pose that has ease for the spine might ask me to sit a little bit higher. I'm going to even go one fold higher on my blanket, so that my knees go lower than my hips and my pelvis tips forward, and I can sit on my sit bones and my spine can grow up tall. So whether you're sitting on the floor or sitting in a chair, we're going to take this cross-legged position called sukhasana. So one foot tucks in and under, and then the other one comes across in front. So I can lean my shins against each other. I have a little bit more of a tip forward. If it feels like it's too high to do that, then you can always take a little bit lower support underneath your sit bones. Same with when you're sitting. We want the knees to go down, and you can see my knees went considerably lower once I went into this cross-legged position. So sukha, the name of this pose, sukha. Sukha means good space, and it was referring to back in the origins of the word, it's a Sanskrit word, of the hole in the center of a wheel that needed to be smooth for the, not sure of the terminology, but the axis or the axle to go in both wheels, so both wheels turned with ease. And when it didn't happen, if there was bumps or something inside that circle, then there would be an unevenness to it, a bump, 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 bump. And so the term comes from that place. So I'd like you to think about this in terms of what brings you into a good space. We can have difficulties and challenges in our lives, and there's nothing we can do about it except for how we respond or react. And if we respond, we are probably coming from a good space. The other word that goes along with this word is sh-teera, and it means more like stability or steadiness, something very steady and stable that provides you a foundation for the good space that you're existing within. So they go hand in hand. They're really tied in together. So I invite you for the first part of this practice, and you can change the cross of your legs at any time, but sit and close your eyes and tune into your breath. I want to go into the qualities of the breath first. The idea that the in-breath can feel expansive and uplifting and fill us with a sense of ease, and the out-breath, the exhale, can give us a sense of steadiness, of calming, of feeling stable and supported. And the balance of the two puts us into that really good space that whatever comes our way, we're able to handle it. So easy, I think of something that is easy being something like 2 + 2 = 4. That's an easy equation. How to spell cat, C-A-T. But the word ease, I often think more as a feeling, more of a state of mind than an activity. So while you're closing your eyes, notice your experience you're having right now, and notice, do I feel a sense of ease? So within anything that's a difficulty or a challenge, can you find a sense of freedom? Notice as you breathe in, this uplifting quality, and notice as you breathe out, this downward settling, stabilizing quality. And then just for fun, consider this. As you breathe in and you feel this upward lifting, expansive freedom, the breath is actually coming in your nose and moving down. And when you are exhaling and you're feeling this settling downward quality, the breath is actually moving up and out. Notice if there is anything else in your experience, in your body or in your mind or in your heart, that is holding something that does not serve you. Is your jaw gripping? Are your shoulders gripping? Is your back gripping in any way? Maybe you need a support behind your back. We're looking for ways to find the good space that allows you to live with a sense of ease no matter what arises. We'll just stay here just for another few moments, tuning into your breath and getting a sense of where you are at right now in the moment. And throughout the practice today, tune in, noticing where you might be feeling tension or excess effort, or someplace where your brain might have disengaged from the experience of your body. And set an intention to be here, fully present, aware. Is it possible to be aware and alert without creating tension? And bring your palms in front of your heart, hands together or hands on your chest, and bow to whatever intention you have set. And lift your head back up. Open your eyes, bring your hands down onto your thighs. Adjust your chair if you need to. Adjust your position. We'll go from the cross-legged position to feet on the floor. And I'd just like you to do this little exercise of, I'll go forward, of just shifting your weight. I can shift way over to the left, and I feel my right hip come up off the chair, my right sit bone come off, and then I can shift way over to the right, and same thing. So if I go back and forth, it's like I'm tipping the bowl of my pelvis like this from side to side. If there was water in the bowl of the pelvis, it would swish and slide. It would create wave-like action from side to side. So then come back where you can get a sense that you are level. And then take your hands down to the sides, find where the legs of the chair are, and slowly start to slide your right hand down without tipping the bowl of the pelvis. So how far can you go with the ease of the movement without disturbing the steadiness of the pelvis? And then come back up. We'll do the same on the other side. So I have to focus a little bit more and engage muscles in a little bit different way if I want to do this. I'm focusing on sliding down and keeping my weight evenly distributed. So I want to play a little bit. How far can I go? What's happening in the rest of my body when I do that? I'm starting to shorten on this side of the body, but lengthen on this side of the body. We can add in an arm action too. As you slide down on one side, we're going to curve the arm up and over and come back down and change sides. I like this action, this movement, or this alignment of the arm because it's going to ask you to begin the action of rotating your scapula, your shoulder blade, without creating tension in the shoulder. We want to find the ease of this movement of the shoulder blade without causing tension. Just a couple more like this, exploring your own movement, discovering, can you stay balanced on your pelvis and do this other action without losing a sense of balance? Inhale now, both arms come up. We'll move them towards the center and then bring them back down. Again, lift up. You can choose, do you want to do an in-breath up or an out-breath up? Out-breath meaning exhale. Just move to where you feel the work is okay for you. Pain is always a sign that something is going to happen or is happening. Okay, one more time. Take your hands up. Pause for a moment. Bring your hands towards each other. Interlace your fingers and turn your palms up. Turn the thumb side up as much as you're able to without shrugging or feeling any pinching in your shoulders. And then start to push your palms up. At what point does it feel like, oh, that's no longer has a sense of ease? Lift up and come down. For some of you, it might be right here. For some of you, you might go further. You might even move towards straight arms. We're not looking to compromise any place in the body, any place in the shoulders. Just want to find what is the range of motion right now. Yeah. One more time, and we're going to hold it. Hold in this position, whatever it means for you, whatever the position is for you, where there is no pain, where there's a sense of ease. And one of the ways to check in, do I have a sense of ease, is could you hold this for 5 minutes? If you say, no, I could hold it for a little bit, but not that long, maybe you need to back out a little bit. Then holding where you could manage this, do that same action of tipping over to the side, keeping your sit bones level. Again, find the breath that serves the movement. So if the harder part is lifting back up, try exhaling. Just see if that works. Inhaling to the side, finding expansiveness in the chest, exhaling to stabilize through the core muscles. I'm realizing this is a totally different class than what I just taught. So for those of you who came into the class this afternoon, you get a whole second class. It's different. We'll see. Some similarities probably. Last one on each side. Again, find where there's ease. Do a lesser movement if there's no ease to it. Have you figured out what is easy and what is with ease? Then come back and bring your arms back down by your sides. Notice the heat around your shoulders. Pause for a moment and notice. Then I'm just going to turn my chair to the side again so you can see me from the side. I want to be right on the edge so I can have my spine lifted and sit on my sit bones. Then I'm going to walk my feet back, something we've done in lots of the classes, to a place where I can get both of my heels down and still keep my knees pointing in the same direction as the center of the ankle. If I need to, I'm going to go further forward. If I can, I'm going to go further back. I want to work with the flexibility that I have in my ankle joints. I want to keep my knees in alignment so that I don't hurt my knees. Take your hands to the back of the chair, lean your body forward, and come up. Sorry, come forward. We'll do that a couple of times. Come forward. Notice what's happening in your feet. I want to say have a sense of steadiness in the soles of my feet. So when I lean forward, I'm still feeling rooted through the big toe base on both feet and the center of both heels, as well as the baby toe base. Think of the foot in this relationship as triangles on the bottom. Baby toe base, big toe base, and the center of the back of the heel. Okay, one more time, come forward. Notice I'm hinging from my hips and keeping my spine long. Now I'm going to push into the chair and try to lift my hips off the floor or off the chair and then back down. Again, come forward, push your hands into the seats, lift up, come back down. Last time, come forward, press down and hold. We'll hold right now, the hands are helping, but can you bring your hands forward to the thighs? Oh, now the legs start to work. There's a challenge here. Is there a sense of ease? Can you still breathe evenly? If not, try coming out a little bit. Does that change anything? Maybe you need to come out a little bit more. Maybe you need to come out of it completely. Where is the place of ease for you? Of steadiness and of ease. And then slowly make your way back up to sit. Inhale, take your arms out to the sides and start to lift them up in that same action. And then bring them back down. So I'm doing this kind of an action. Again, ease in the shoulders. I'm going to try to mix up the planes here so we're not always working in the same plane. Get the brain, the mind to have a little bit more of a challenge. So my arms go up as I sit down. Tap the chair, come back down as my arms come down. So my arms are out to the sides. So switching it up what you think you're supposed to be doing so that you really can tune into what exactly is happening in my body as I do this. The steadiness in your feet, in your legs. Are your legs moving towards each other like this? Can you keep them facing forward? There's a few people that I know for sure having some challenges with their knees. One of the most wonderful things you could do for knee issues, no matter what it is to strengthen the muscles around the knee. So all of these muscles, in particular the quadriceps, 4 of them here. When we track the knee in line with the center of the ankle and towards the base of the second toe, then we are engaging all the muscles. Last one, and we'll hold. And then slowly come back up. Turn around and face your chair now. You can take off the blanket or the block, whatever you had on it. Move your chair towards the end. And then step your feet wide on your mat. Bend your knees. Knees go forward. Hips go back. Similar to the action we were just doing, but the legs are wider now. So I want to have my knees go forward again over the center of the ankle. As my hips go back, I want to stay centered in my feet and then reach out for the chair. Then shift forward so I can now stack my legs over top of my ankles and my shoulders over my wrists. And then I'm going to go back again. 2 more like this, lifting up and moving back. As I move back, I'm not doing a lot of movement through my low back, but I am starting to elongate the muscles of the back of the pelvis. Last one, and we'll hold here. Walk your hands further towards the back of the chair, still keeping high. Look at the relationship I have between my arms and my body. I'm not trying to take my arms in line with my body. I'm pressing down into the seat of the chair to help elongate to the front of the spine. And then slowly lift up, come forward, walk your hands back to the front edge, and walk your feet further back. Same idea, but now this is more like downward dog. Press down and forward with your hands, bend your knees forward over the center of the ankle, and move your body away from your shoulders. Again, I am not lining my body up with my arms. I'm staying in a place where I have ease through my shoulders. Some of you might be able to go here. Some of you might be able to move the chair away and come right down into downward dog. What we don't want to do is feel that bunching up action around the shoulders. We want to have an ease to the shoulder joint. So we slowly come out of it and go back into it, more giving a sense of lengthening to the sides of the body. Okay, 2 breaths here, holding this. Pressing down to lift up the armpits, last breath. And then come all the way up. Okay, come and sit on your chair. Let's see. Turn your chair to the side so that the back of the chair is towards the right side of your mat. Then you're going to sit on the chair with your left foot off. So take your blanket or whatever support you had. You're still going to use that. And the right hip sits, the right thigh sits here. I missed this whole section. My technical difficulties threw me off. So I'm going to go close to the side because I want to have my leg off. I'm sitting on my right leg, but letting the left come off. And I'm going to alternate. Oh, I guess you can't really see my leg. I'll go back here so you can see better. So I'm going to take my leg forward. I'm holding on to the back of the chair. My leg goes forward. My leg goes back. Forward and back. The reason I have the lift underneath me is to keep that tilt of the pelvis resting on my two sit bones, really one sit bone, forward and back. How far back? Where's the place of ease? Where's the place where you can move without having to distort your spine? One more time. Take your foot back. So this is left foot back. Tuck your toes under if possible, and then lean forward, bringing your hands to your front thigh. Once you've done that, adjust your front foot. We're going to line up the knee over the ankle just for a solid, steady support, a vertical line with gravity. Then see if there's room for you to wiggle your left foot back a little further. I can take mine back and straighten mine, but you might not be able to. You might be okay with just bending your knee just a little bit. As we lean forward, we create a little bit more of a line from the back leg through the body. Then press your hands into your thigh and see if you can lift your right hip off the chair. Even just get it lighter. Press and hold for a breath or two. And then sit back on the chair. Keep your leg where it is if possible. Walk further up your thigh and now lift your body more vertical, opening up through the front of the hip. This can be as bent as you need it to be. One more breath. Then take your right arm to the back of the chair. Bring your left leg forward. Press down and stand up. Walk around to the other side. Sit back down. This time I'm sitting my left thigh on the chair and my right leg is off. And we alternate. I want to come forward far enough that I can totally get my left foot down. And I'm going out and then back. Moving through this movement. I'm holding onto the chair so I don't fall off this way, but I'm also asking my core muscles to stabilize me. Come back to this idea of something needs to stabilize. We want to have things stabilize through control and coordination. Control and coordination while we move parts of the body through range of emotion. Not emotion, a range of motion, and maybe a range of emotions. Wherever this leg goes, this leg goes. We're not going to worry about how far. We don't want to use yoga poses like they're destinations. I want to move in a range of motion. I feel steadiness. I feel support. Maybe challenge too. Maybe I need to stop. Maybe I need to adjust. Okay, so keep your leg back, lean forward, and put your hands on your thigh. Adjust your foot so your shin is more vertical, and then see if there's room to wiggle and stretch your back leg out. So we're leaning forward. We're leaning forward like we're going into a forward bend. Press back through your heel to elongate. Push back, and then reach out through the top of your head. So we open up through the back of the left hip and start to open up through the front of the right. Then you can start to come up a little bit higher. Maybe your back leg bends a little bit more. You know, it's totally up to you what's going on in your body. I want you to tune in with what do you need for this not to be a struggle for you. You are your own science experiment. When you do this, this happens. It's all cause and effect. There's no right or wrong here. Notice what you're doing and what the effects are. So then we come more into this place where we're opening up through the front. Can we press down and maybe even lift off? You can use your hand on the back of the chair. Lift off the seat of the chair. Maybe, maybe not. And then slowly come back down. If there wasn't steadiness there, maybe you take it down a notch. Maybe it's not lifting off the chair. Maybe it's just the moment before you lift off. Then bring your back leg forward. We'll come up and stand again. Adding in something else, take this off the seat of the chair. Turn the chair towards you once again. Step your right foot forward, left foot back. Inhale and come forward and lift up the back leg and then step back down. So again, here we are moving in this one plane, moving forward, leaning and lifting. Leaning and lifting, putting the weight through the right leg. I want to do this movement not by arching my back, but by engaging through the back of the buttocks and lifting. It might not be a big lift. Okay, so here's a change in the arms. As you lean forward, take your arms out to the sides, like you're flying, and back down. And lift up, and back down. Notice if your left leg is turning out to the side. Maybe just shift and lift your heel off. Maybe the balancing on one foot is too much. Find where you can do this. I'm not going to say we're going to do this for 5 minutes, but what if we did? What stage, what level would you need to work at? One more time, wherever you are, balance, whether your back foot's on the ground or lifted. Maybe your right leg is straight. And then step back down. Let's change sides. That was fun and heating. Okay, so I'm going to lean forward, press back through my back heel, lift up, and I put my weight into my left leg. So I'm moving through this range of motion, bending, more stability when I land my heel down. I've got to find a different place of stability when I stand on one foot. When we do it on the second side, of course, if you're not feeling stable, keep holding on to the chair. If you're okay to, you're taking your arms out to the sides. Little brain gymnastics. Oh, I forgot to show you the thing at the end. I'll do it this time. The thing at the end for the brain. Mental note. One more time. Buttocks is lifting up. Hold. Buttocks is working here, this part right here on the right side, and then step back down. Bring your hands to the sides of the chair. Walk your feet wide. Hips go back. See, if I went back and my spine started to round like this, I'm not going to get the benefit of lengthening. So I want to instead bend. I go into deeper hip flexion, and then I pull back away. It's not the same as rolling and rounding through the low back. We do a lot of that. So we want to make sure that we're lengthening first before we go into what's called spinal flexion in the lumbar. One more breath here. Then pull yourself up. Walk towards your chair. We'll do a little release of the low back by sitting in the chair. We don't have to have the lift underneath us this time. This is like a seated child's pose without worrying about having to compress through the knees. So we lift up through the spine. Once again, feel your connection of your sit bones. Maybe you need to lean back a little bit more to feel the two sit bones on the chair. We're not rolling back into the pelvis though. We're going to stay lifted. Then start to hinge right here. Hinge forward. Bringing the whole front of the body forward, and your first pit stop is your elbows to your thighs. You know, sometimes I've called this pose public bathroom asana. Asana is the word for pose. This can be private bathroom. So now notice what's happened to your sit bones. I've definitely rolled more forward towards the front. So now I want to do the action of rolling back a little bit. So the back, the top of my pelvis rolls that way. Can you see that on my body? I'll do it again. My pelvis has rolled forward, and this is me rolling it back. Keeping that lengthened through the front of the body. So I'm pressing into my arms to lengthen. Now I'm getting the opening through my low back. But if I wasn't, maybe I start to come forward more. Maybe I have the ability to bring my hands to my shins or wrap them around the back. I want to counter the action of going forward with the action of rolling back to stay in the center of my sit bones. I'm not trying to roll towards the back of them. If you are reaching and the upper back is rounding, I'm going to say that's not a place of ease. That's a place that's easy. The body goes there with ease. Sorry, the body goes there easily because this might be your posture. What's ease for the spine is to lift up to the front and find a place where there's an opening that you don't normally get the opening. Lower. Ease and easy. This is not easy because now I have to hold myself here to make it happen. Just one more breath. And then climb up onto your thighs. Press down and lift up. Now stand up. Notice how you feel. Stand in Tadasana for a moment and notice how you feel. You've had some physical challenges, perhaps. Your body has moved. You are breathing. Are you creating an experience in a good space within you, within the mind, within the body, within your emotions? That's the point. Then turn to the chair. We'll bring it just a little bit more in the middle. Take a step to the right. Do a quarter turn, so now you're on a diagonal line from the front right leg to the back left. Then lift up your right leg. You can lean onto the chair and lift your right foot up. Then we lift up, keep facing forward. Be mindful of what's happening with the straight leg. We don't want to lock it or put more tension in there. We want to feel like it's a pillar of strength and stability. Then we lift up, and this is like a one-legged child's pose. Then we come forward just the way we did in the last pose. You can bring both hands to the back of the chair. In fact, by reaching the left side, the left hand more forward, you might get a little more lengthening through the left side of the body. You can stay here, or you can bring your hands down. Again, looking for the same kind of alignment. We want a lengthening through the low back, particularly on the right side, and more evenness through the front of the body lengthening. So be where you need to be, and it feels like it's good space. One more breath here. Then press down and lift yourself up. Drop your right arm down. Take your left arm. Let me think if I'm doing this right. Yeah, okay, left arm. Bring it up to your shoulder, your right shoulder. And then take it to the outside of your leg. So we're going like from here to here. And when we do that, we're turning the body towards the right. I'm not moving my pelvis. I'm not swaying my legs around. So I want to keep stability in my legs and turn. And at the same time that I bring my hand down, I have the possibility of reaching my arm back to the wall behind me. From here to here. From here So it's one of those things, again, challenging the brain, challenging the body to find the steadiness and the ease of movement. Ease of movement, not stuck. How far you go is up to you. This is not a destination. I'm not asking you to mimic where I go. I'm asking you to find it in your own body, this steadiness through the legs, and the movement happens above the waist. So if I was just doing my body, I would do this. Maybe that's what you need. Maybe your hand is here and you turn. Notice it's not my head turning. It's my body turning, and we'll do one more and hold it. Hold. Wherever you happen to be, breathing. No pain in the knees, especially the standing leg, because that means you're twisting below the waist. Then slide forward. So instead of sliding forward this way, now we're sliding forward this way and bring your elbow. Take your palms like this, turn them forward in the same direction as your right toes, and then lift your right elbow up so your elbow stacks over your other elbow. Press down. I'm pushing down here, and I'm using that as leverage to lift up. And the same action of rotating to the right, rotate your body to the right. Bigger rotation in the spine. Be mindful. Be aware of, does this feel okay? If it feels like work, can you find the balance of the work with an ease of the breath? One more breath here. Slowly unwind. Take your time unwinding. Come back the way you went in. Now we'll step down. Stand in Tadasana for a moment. Maybe even close your eyes and tune in to how you feel. Left and right sides. Do you feel anything happening around your left knee? Did you turn more than you thought you needed to? Because if you think you need to be in a certain place, you're probably going to twist through this knee. But if you're really mindful about the subtle movement, that's as far. You know, I can't take my arm back. So now I'm going to move my chair. You can keep it there or move it so that you can see me, whatever way is best for you. And then we stand and address the chair. Hello, chair. How are you doing today? Step to the left. Turn a quarter turn. So I'm left front leg to back, right. Step forward and lift up. Oh, wrong side. Lift up, left leg. You can adjust the bottom leg if you need to for more stability. Turning it out slightly will start to engage a muscle from your hip back to the center of the pelvis called the piriformis. Turning it out and putting a little bit more weight in the outer edge can turn that muscle on while the other one turns off on the other side. So we turn forward. Again, no feeling of twisting in the knee. Just a sense of stability. Strength from the sole of the foot, big toe base, outer heel, and a lift up. Then we lean forward. This is like the seated forward bend. Then hands to the back of the chair. Back of the pelvis on the left side rolls down. So from here, can you see where my hand is? It rolls down. Maybe this side, I'll do it the opposite way so you can see the back of me. I think you can still hear me. So here, this is rolling down. Breathe here, elongating through the front of the spine. I've got my whole front body resting against my thigh, so there is room for me to come down and reach. But notice that when I go from here to here, my upper back doesn't round and my belly doesn't come away from my thigh. One of the things you can always do if your belly comes away, because we want that support for the low back, you can put a blanket up here, tuck it into the hip crease, lift your belly up and lean over onto it. Maybe then you get that sense of releasing through the back of the pelvis on the left side. Stay here for another few breaths. Again, not feeling imbalanced from right to left, even though it's an asymmetrical pose. Being aware of whether the sit bone is moving out to the side and the left side of the body is shortening more than the right side. I'm bringing this hip back in line, sit bone right behind my knee. And then slowly make your way back up. Push down, come up. And here are the actions. Right hand to left shoulder. Turn. So it comes up. It goes down. This arm can go back. Again, start with the action, one action at a time, and check to see, am I creating ease in my body? Am I doing this with a sense of ease? Is there a sensation or feeling in my right knee, like I'm twisting my pelvis around? I want to go steady and turn above the waist, so the rib cage is what's moving. I turn, maybe I reach back, maybe not. Up to the shoulder and turn. Maybe my head turns, maybe not. Find which breath helps serve you in the movement. It's really challenging to stay here in all the experience of the body. My mind wants to drift off and not pay attention. It wants to take the easy way out. If it's more difficult with the back of your hand, try the palm of your hand. One last time, and we're going to hold here, wherever that means for you. I'm going to give you a suggestion. As your rib cage turns to the left, try turning your pelvis as a counteraction to the right. It's not so that you turn the pelvis to the right, but so you stabilize the body so that you can turn more above the waist. One more breath. Be where you need to be. No pain. And then slowly come back. Take your hand that's here and slide it forward. Maybe you go just to your forearm. So we were here. We changed to here, and now you're sliding forward. Maybe you need to be here. You know, find out where you need to be. Then hands together, turn your palms forward. I've kind of got my elbow resting here. Then I can stack my left elbow on top of my right, press down to lift up my body. My body's lifting up, and it's turning towards the left. And 3 breaths here. Plug in the left shoulder. Lean back into your upper back. Lean your head back as if you're resting into a wall. Keeping your head in line with your spine. At the end of your 3rd breath, slowly come out. Was there ease to that? Is there ease in how you come out of the pose? That was a lot of work for that standing leg. Good for it. Step down. We'll do one more thing here before we finish. Let's sit up on this support again, whatever support you had at the beginning. I'm going to bring it back. You may or may not need your strap. But step your legs out away from you. I've got a little bit of bend in my knee. I want to release that feeling in my hips. So I'm up on top of my sit bones. I've got my legs almost straight, and I want to cross my left ankle over my left or my right thigh, then slide it up. This may be where it needs to be. What I want to make sure is that when I do this, I don't start to shift my weight from side to side. Remember what we did at the beginning. Maybe it can come above my knee. I don't want to do it where I have to distort and really effort to get there. I want it to be more of a natural. Then again, my pelvis is facing forward. I'm on my sit bones. Lift up, and you can hold to the back of the chair to help keep your chest lifting. And I want to get a sense that I'm stretching through my outer left buttocks. For me, I'm going to start to come forward a little bit. For you, you might start to slide your right foot towards you. You might do a combination. I'm using the chair to slow me down, to help keep me lifted through the front of the body. It's the same forward bend with the pelvis tipping back to stay on the center of the sit bones. But now we've got the leg crossed, so we're targeting another muscle group. Again, some of you might be more flexible and come forward and hold on to the front legs, or hold on to ball of the foot, knee. No pain. What does a sense of ease feel like? Feel like something, or bring to mind something that you have been honing, a craft you have been honing for your life. Maybe it was the job you had, or maybe it's a hobby that you've had, and over time you have developed a sense of ease with how you do it. And somebody new just starting out doing that particular thing would find it challenging, but you have developed a sense of ease. That's what you're looking for. Slowly come back out of the pose wherever you happen to be. If you were forward, you lift up, you slide your leg back down, and we go into straight legs. Lean back. I'm going to find the back of the chair, take my hands behind my head. I'm still on my heels, and then it's like I'm curling my shoulders up and over. I want to lift up and lengthen through the front of the body. I'm supporting the back of my head, lifting and lengthening through the back. Elbows reach out to the sides. And slowly come back. Hands to the seat of the chair. Lift yourself up. Change sides, so a little bend in the knee. Cross at the ankles first. Hips staying level, sit bones on the chair. Slide up to wherever you are able to go, where you're like, okay, I feel it right here, somewhere in this buttock. I'm not going to say exactly there, but somewhere in this outer hip. Then do you stay tall? Do you come forward? Do you slide your leg in? Do you come forward? Notice the shape of my body. I have slid my foot in and I'm coming forward, but notice the whole front of my body is long. Even when I go down to this position, the front of my body is long. I'm not reaching my upper back backwards. I want to stay long through the spine. Always going to be the way I'm going to be teaching until I hear something different. You know, different bodies require different levels of engagement, different levels of letting go. Each one of us is like a recipe. We call for different actions and different movements. We're all so different, not just in body makeup, but in the way we think, the way we feel, the experiences we've had in life. We have to let go of comparing ourselves to others. There is a dis-ease in that. And isn't that interesting that disease has the word ease in it, and it means the opposite. Not a good space. Take a couple more breaths. If you feel like you want to hold it longer, you can hold it longer. When you are ready, you will reverse your movements. We want ease coming out of every single pose. One more time, leaning to the back of the chair. Interlace your hands the opposite way you did the first time. Support the back of the head and neck. Lift up and curl. It's a curling action, like curl up and over. And then slowly release. Again, find the muscles to lift you up. And see, before we come down on the floor, is there another pose you want to do here? Do you want to come into a forward bend before we go to the floor? Do you want to come to the floor and hug your legs into your body? Decide what's going to work for you. We've done a fair amount of standing on the legs, so maybe you want to put your legs up on the seat of the chair. If you have a short chair like I do and you want to do that pose, I'm going to suggest you turn it sideways. Lay down with your head on a pillow or a blanket. Come close to the chair first so you can get your calves on the chair. Then come back down. Maybe you don't want the seat of the chair. Maybe you want to hold your legs in towards your body and just rock and massage the back of the body a little bit. And then make your way into a pose that serves you, that invites you to be steady and still, that invites a sense of stability. I feel connected to the earth. Every time I exhale, I feel myself releasing downward into the earth. The last breath we'll ever take on this planet will be an out breath. That's the ultimate letting go and releasing. And I believe with all my heart that there's a release that goes with that. There's a release that has an ease to it. And once you have found that steadiness, that settling in through the back body, without enlivening your inhales, just begin to watch them in your body. Watch that sense of expansiveness. Notice if there is any place in your body you are holding tension. Releasing your jaw can go a long way towards finding ease in the breath, ease in the nervous system. breathing in, I know I am breathing in. Breathing out, I know I'm breathing out. Breathing in, I notice my in-breath has become deeper. Breathing out, I notice that my out-breath has become slower. Breathing in, I calm myself. Breathing out, I feel at ease. Notice how you are lying here on the floor or on your chair, wherever you happen to be. Notice the quality of your breath. Notice the quality of the experience you're having. Sometimes in Shavasana, I feel like it's so perfect. I don't want to move. I have a sense of fullness, that I have everything I need in this moment, and there is a sense of ease to everything in the universe. That, to me, is the underlying message and quality of the universe. That everything is always okay, and there's a steadiness to that. If you would like to stay lying down here, you may. Just bring awareness to the center of your chest, either just by focusing there with your attention, or by bringing your hands to the center of your chest. Or feel free to move and stretch and yawn and roll over to your, make your way up to sit. What is it that you need right now? Let go of deadlines and timelines of anything and what you had planned next. It'll still be waiting for you. What do you need in this moment? What will bring you ease going forward? If you have made your way to sit, feel free to either bring your hands to the center of your chest or bring your palms together in Anjali Mudra. Anjali means little space, and there's a little space between your hands that holds space for what's in the center of your heart. Breathing in, I smile. Breathing out, I release. Breathing in, I dwell in the present moment. And breathing out, I feel, I know it is a wonderful moment. Thank you for coming today and joining me here. Enjoy the ease of life within the difficulties. Namaste. Thank you.